So let's talk about walking through difficult things, difficult seasons of your life. You know, I've said so many times, I am an expert in the rearview mirror. How many of you can look back and so wish you would have seen things in the middle of a season that would have helped you? You know, that's really my story. Most of what I share is not things that I've discovered in the middle of difficult seasons, but the things that I recognize after they happen. And so here's a few things I've learned about difficult things. Number one, I would say this: the importance of not isolating in a season when you don't have any energy to give to anyone else. You know, I think when you find yourself in a difficult relational season, a time of depression or anxiety, mental health issues, when you find yourself in a difficult job situation, the tendency we all have is to pull back. Why? Because at some level we are conserving our emotional energy because it just seems to suck so much out of us. And yet, many times, the very thing that we don't want to do is the very thing that we need to do when we find ourselves in the middle of a challenge. And that is speak the truth out loud to someone else, not about how we ought to feel, but how we feel in the moment. Why? Because we need to hear truth from others about the reality of what we're facing. We need others to say to us, you're going to make it through. We need others to say to us, you are stronger than you think you are. We need others to say, I believe in you. Those words from those around us that we can trust to speak life into our lives is what sustains us and gets us through the difficult times that we face. The other thing that I would say, that when you find yourself in a difficult season of life, is in that new seasons that bring new challenges need a new response from you. In other words, you got to break up the routine when you find yourself in a difficult season. For some, it may mean you need to get up earlier and spend some time reading something that fills your heart and encourages you. For me, it's the Bible. When I find myself in difficult seasons, I don't feel like reading anything, but I will force myself to read the Bible. Why? Because I believe that we are transformed not by what's happening around us, but what is happening in us. We are transformed or changed by the renewing of our mind. And so we've got to fill our mind first thing in the morning with positive things, so we have something in us to defend against the negative things that are coming. How to not only survive, but even kind of thrive in the middle of difficult seasons. I learned from my dad. You know, my dad is 90 years old, and I said for many years that he was annoyingly optimistic. But as I've gotten older, I see the wisdom behind his words. One of his favorite phrases is this: Tobe, it's all going to work out. And when I find myself facing a challenge I never thought I'd be facing, the reality of the truth of what my dad says is what sustains me in that season. And it's this: this is temporary. It feels like it's forever. It feels like it will never end. But this is temporary in my life. Well, how do you know it's temporary? Because God is on my side. He's a good father who wants good things for his kids, and he's not going to leave me hanging forever. Honestly, he doesn't always show up when I want him to, but he always shows up right on time. And I know that whatever I'm facing is not going to last forever.